What is going on, YouTube? Quote the statue back here with the start of a new video series. The series is going to be a little bit different than pretty much everything else I post on my channel. In this video series, we're going to take a deep dive into the history of competitive COD. There's a man goes by Bash. You guys might know him from the Best of Three podcast with Salvation's Elite and Shady Nero. I'll put a link to all their socials in the description below. Huge shout out to them. They're pretty up to date on all of the current events in COD history, but he put a tweet up several days ago about how there's not really been any video series that really deep dive into each competitive season since the start of competitive COD, which kind of got me thinking. I was like, well, that's something that I could really freaking get into. So being that it was his idea, I asked if he wanted to collaborate on such a thing, and of course he said he doesn't quite have the time, but he said he'd be available to answer questions. So we've kind of conversed back and forth a little bit through DMs on Twitter, but yeah, so this is the start of it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do enjoy this kind of content, go ahead and leave this video a like. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time the next video in the series goes live, and leave a comment and let me know what you think. If there's anything I can add, something I should take out, something I should do different, like, I'm all about it. So let me know what you guys think. We're going to jump into the series starting at the very beginning, and we're going to work our way up from there. All the way up through maybe Black Ops 2. We might be able to get into one video. It's going to be broken down into different parts per season. With that being said, we're going to jump right in, get after it, and we're going to go with the start of Call of Duty. Alright guys, so a lot of you might know this already, but Call of Duty's been around for a very long time. The very first game was released in 2003, and it was titled Call of Duty. After that, it was followed by Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, subsequent years, 2004, 2005. But the competitive scene didn't really get underway until the release of Call of Duty 4. That's when online gamers really kind of took this into kind of the start of what you have today. Okay guys, so as I said before, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the first game that kind of set the tone for competitive COD. Like I said, the game released in 2007. However, in 2008 there was another game released, Call of Duty World at War. However, this game wasn't very popular amongst competitive play, so COD 4 kind of hung around for a little while. So, COD 4, it was modern setting, very popular. It was actually the start to, like, local tournaments, LAN tournaments, things like that. Kind of paved the way for the LAN tournaments that the pros still currently play on. COD 4 also kind of set the tone for some of the professional players. So in COD 4, people like Nadeshot, Rambo, Big Timer, Sharp, Nameless, Proofy, people like that. That's where they really got their start in competitive Call of Duty. People like Merc and very select few others got their start during World at War. But this was actually the starting phase of when the very first major competitive COD tournament came about, and it was the Major League Championship that was played in 2009. So as I said, the Major League Championship in 2009 was the first major competitive Call of Duty tournament. It's the first time the team format came into play. As you can see here are the few teams that actually participated in that tournament. Along with the team format in this tournament, it's actually the first time the bracket style tournament was played. So this is the same kind of bracket that we see, in all the major tournaments and COD champs, things like that. It's pretty much how every kind of playoffs and just about anything goes. Bracket style, team versus team, winner moves on, loser goes home. So as you saw from the bracket, the teams went head to head. The grand final ended up being Team Extravagant versus Team Envy. Extravagant came on top, 6 maps to 3. So that was the first tournament where money was involved in the prize pool, and Extravagant came out on top, winning the grand prize, which was $8,000. Team Envy in second with 4,000. Team Fear was in third place with 2,000, and Mob Genesis was in fourth with 1,000. So by today's standards and the prize pools that these guys play for, that's not a whole lot. But back in this time period, that was a whole lot of money to win for playing video games. You can also see here on the prize pool list who made up these teams. So Team Extravagant, the winning team, was Rambo, Big Timers, Sharp, Dodgers. Team Envy, second place, was Stainville, Fears, Sid Rock, Hastro. Some other notable names on this list are people like Proofy, Nade Shot, Silly, Nameless. All these guys were top-notch players for their time, and they competed in the first ever major COD tournament. So the next title in the Call of Duty series to be released would be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Just like the predecessor Modern Warfare, it was set in a modern setting. Instantly, it was loved by the competitive community. This game helped pave the way to bring more esports organizations from other areas into COD. The most notable of this time period to make its way to COD would be Optic Gaming, run by Hector Rodriguez, aka Hex. Prior to their entry into the Call of Duty scene, they were more of a content creation, trick shot kind of clan. So most of their people were known for making crazy plays, wild shots that nobody else can make. But this game paved the way for them to get a foothold into competitive Call of Duty. They also picked up a couple superstar players, one of which would be Nade Shot. We heard about him earlier in the video. Everybody knows Nade Shot. But he became part of Optic, played with Merc. So during the Modern Warfare 2 era, there was 2 major notable tournaments. So the first one was the Modern Warfare 2 Online MLG Championship. So it was an online tournament. Same kind of format, bracket style. Teams competed against each other. However, in this tournament, the grand final came down to Team Envy and Team Extravagant once again. However, this time Team Envy got their revenge and they beat Extravagant. This is also the first event where you see people like Aches, TP, Clayster. They all made their debuts right around this time period. So now we're going to go ahead and kind of look at the tournament information from the MLG Online Champion. Alright, so here's the list of the teams that played in the MLG Online Championship. 2 of which you see from the previous tournament, Extravagant Envy. Like I mentioned before, this was where Optic Gaming got their start in the competitive Call of Duty. You can also see teams like Art of Execution, which I believe that's the team Clayster played on, and Leverage. These are all popular teams during this era of competitive Call of Duty. So here's the bracket for the MLG Online Championship. As you can see, there's some familiar teams, Extravagant, Envy. But looking at how the bracket kind of went, if you look at Optic Gaming, they didn't even make it out of the first round of the main bracket or the losers bracket. So back then in this tournament, they weren't performing very well. But Team Envious makes it all the way to the semifinals, then to the grand final. Leverage beats Extravagant and then loses in the loser bracket semifinal to go against Envious in the grand final, where Envious comes out on top. So here's the tournament earnings for the MLG Online Championship. Team Envious in first ended up winning $12,000. Extravagant $6,000. Leverage $3,000, and then Art of Execution in fourth place won $2,000. So as you can see, the prize pool for this tournament was much more than the championship from the year previous. And that's how it's going to continue to trend throughout the history of competitive Call of Duty. You'll see that the prize pools end up being more and more with each tournament. Alright, moving 2 weeks down the road from the MLG Online National Championship was the MLG National Championship that was held in Dallas in 2010. We're going to take a look at the teams that played in the tournament, the bracket, and the prize pool for that tournament. Here are the teams that played in that event: Art of Execution, Influence, Mutiny, Optic, Envy, Obey, Leverage, and Extravagant. There's pretty common names so far that we've seen throughout the competitive Call of Duty series, but let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket and see how it turned out. Alright, so moving right along into the bracket, we can see how the teams started off. If you look at Optic, they did much better in this tournament than they did the one previous. At least they made it out of round one of the main bracket, and they made it 2 rounds in the losers bracket. Ultimately, they didn't make it to the grand finals, but I think their luck changes drastically as the future goes on. So here's the prize pool for MLG Dallas. Influence took the first place spot, won $12,000. Leverage at second with 6. Extravagant third with 3. Optic Gaming in fourth place with $2,000. So the prize pool's essentially the same as what it was the tournament previous. But look at some of the notable names from this tournament. You got Aches, TP, Rambo, Big Timer, JCap, Nade Shot, Merc, Clayster. So there's pretty big names in this tournament. And we're going to continue to see some of those names as we go along. So I know so far it's pretty much the same thing that we're seeing, but from the competitive scene, like a lot of the main stories and the deep dives into like rivalries and things like that, that didn't really pick up till the Black Ops 2 era, which we're going to cover in depth. But for now, for the remainder of the next couple games, I mean, it's pretty much the same. You know, same teams battling in and out because there wasn't a whole lot. But with each year and each game that's released, the competition gets more and more stiff. The tournaments get better. The rivalries get better. So just stay tuned and we'll see how it all turns out. Alright, so moving on to the next game in the Call of Duty series, which is Call of Duty Black Ops. There was a couple things that happened in this season. One of the notable things, this is the first appearance of the king of Call of Duty himself, Seth Abner, aka Scump. He was on Quantum Leverage alongside Aches and TP. They actually won the first major event of the year, which was the MLG $25,000 online series. They beat Optic out. It was a $10,000 prize pool, so that was pretty big. It's also the first season where Censor appears. But one of the big things that happened during this season was actually Envy and Optic. They combined their rosters and made one team. They won with that team the 2011 GameStop Championship, but despite the merger, Quantum Leverage with Scump and TP and Aches, they pretty much dominated the entire Black Ops season. They won MLG Dallas, won MLG Anaheim. They were untouchable for a while. They looked really, really good. The gameplay in the background I do believe is from MLG Anaheim. It was the final round of the tournament. So there were several major tournaments throughout the Black Ops season. I'm going to go ahead and throw up some of the tournament results so we can take a look at those and see how they ended up. Alright, so this first event that I'm throwing up here is the 2011 MLG Province Tournament. As you can see, Quantic next first place, Envy second, Optic third. And if you notice the prize pools here, look at the amount of money that they're playing for. Considerably more money than previous events. Alright, the next event here is the 2011 MLG Columbus Tournament. As you can see, Optic is in first, for second, Team Fear in third. Now the prize pool for this tournament wasn't as good as what the previous tournament I showed was. So the next tournament that I got showed up here is the MLG Anaheim 2011. As you can see, Quantic Leverage is on top, followed by Fear and Optic. It's that leverage team of Scump, Eggs, Proofy, and TP. Alright, the last event I have up here is the 2011 MLG Dallas Tournament. Once again, dominated by Quantic Leverage with that roster of Eggs, Bobby, Scump, and TP. Team Resistance in second, Optic again in third. Still, the prize pool's not exactly what you'd like to see, but still more than what previous tournaments were playing for. Alright, so the last game we're going to talk about in this video is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So, this game was a little bit different than the ones previous. So I guess Activision, when they made the game, they didn't really have competitive Call of Duty in mind. This game didn't support any kind of LAN capabilities, which meant that the way the normal tournaments have been set up with MLG were not going to happen. So in order to fix this, Activision put on their own tournament. It was the Activision Call of Duty XP tournament. Now, this is the first time a tournament like this has ever been put on in competitive Call of Duty. The prize pool was absolutely insane. Teams were playing for $400,000 and the bragging rights for winning this tournament. With that being said, Optic Gaming pretty much dominated this tournament. At the start of it, Nadeshot was actually dropped from Optic's roster, and then later on, right before the tournament, brought back into play. They played, I want to say it was Infinity in this tournament, and they won in dominant fashion. There were some smaller like online events put on for this season, but overall the biggest tournament of the season was this XP tournament, and it technically still fell during the Call of Duty Black Ops season because Activision put this tournament on before the game actually released. So I mean, I guess it still counts as a Modern Warfare 3 event, even though it was in the Black Ops season. At the end of the day, Optic Gaming came out on top and won $400,000. The team they played went home with $200,000. So it's still not bad. I'd be happy with $200,000. But we're going to go ahead and finish this video off with watching the interview from Optic Gaming after the win of this tournament. Appreciate everybody who tuned into the video. The next video, we're going to start with the Black Ops 2 season. Thanks for all the support. Make sure you subscribe to the video, give it a like, leave me a comment, and let me know what you think. But yeah, we'll see you back here for the next one.
Optic, why don't you guys hop up here with us? This amazing trophy belongs to you.
Nadeshot can't even see it. Nadeshot, how you feel right now, dude? Talk to me.
What the heck?
Swag.
I don't know.
How about you, Merc? You guys, like you're in college, and all of a sudden you find yourself $100,000 richer and the champion of Modern Warfare 3 at the first ever Call of Duty XP event. How do you feel, buddy?
No college debt. That's how I feel, baby.
No student loans to this guy. There you go. All right, big time. Are you the captain of the squad? How you feeling over there?
I'm excited, man. Really, just words don't even describe what's going through my head right now. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland.
And this guy, Vengeance is so quiet.
He's so
always cool, calm,
quiet.
relaxed. This man is not a man that looks like he just won $100,000, man. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm speechless right now. I can't believe that just happened.
I got to talk to this guy really quick. All right. I'm going to tell your story. You're in college, but you made it very public that you worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
For a little while, Nate Shot. You just made $100,000. How does that feel?
I don't want to work at McDonald's anymore.
All right.
And you don't have to anymore, dude.
All right, one more thing. He's got something to say.
I just want to say good games to infinity. It was a tough match. Either way, you know, whoever we won, but still, it was a great match. Couldn't ask for a better. I'm sorry, I'm just lost for words.
All right, guys. Well, you got something else to say, Merc?
USA.
Look at that, baby. All right, guys.
There you go.
All right, come on.